Happy Friday, everybody. Bobby is having some technical difficulties. He's away, so he's trying to jump in from somewhere far away, I guess, and he's having problems hearing me, which most of the world would love to have. So he'll work on all that stuff while we start the show. But happy Friday. Happy you're all here. Morning, Kish. I was happy to beat you to the punch in the good morning thing. Hello, V/clownface. Bobby is trying to get it together. He's doing the best he can. He's he should just be ignoring us and not doing this and enjoying whatever little vacation slash trips slash thing he's doing. But no, he is a constant professional and being here with us at all times. He's messaging me now. Let's see what he's saying here. Boom. He said, okay. So he can join me if he wants to. I'm a little beat myself. I don't know how you guys are doing. I'm pretty exhausted. I had a long night at a show at the casino. I went to a concert first. I got no, Bobby did not rage quit. Bobby is being wonderful and trying his best. The I went to a concert. I'm not a country music fan per se. I like some country music, but I'm not like a big fan of it. But I was able to get free tickets to a show at the arena. A guy named John Party. It's a D, not a T, but he pushes the whole. He's a party animal. Sometimes country music is a little bit hokey. You know what I mean? It's kind of pulled away. Morgan Wallen, people like that have kind of like made it so it's like more pop music, but also to have the drink. The alcoholic came back. Like in country music at the beginning, it was always like I'm an alcoholic and I like my truck. And well, first it was I'm alcoholic and I'm sad, and then it was I like my truck, I like my America, I like my beer, and then it became kind of pop music for a bit, and now it's gone back to full on like I wear chaps and I'm hokey, and this guy was all hokey. But his opening act was this woman. What was her name? Megan Patrick, and yeah, older country is good, and I like that kind of stuff. I do that rough edge, and that's why I think I don't mind Morgan Wallen, Blake Shelton to that degree. Songs about like murderers and being I don't know anything about being in the country, but I like songs about that, like just growing up in the you don't know what it's like to grow up with one tooth and a one tractor trailer. So like those are fun songs. But this girl is named Megan Patrick, and she came out, she opened up the place, and she literally walks out and she just goes, she's like, "Hey, I hope you guys aren't shitty." And I'm like, that's a crazy way to open up an arena show. But just she started rocking a little bit. She was fine. But then she at one point was singing a song. Oh, she sang Jolene. And at the end, she ended it by saying, "I hope you don't end up on the other side of my motherfucking shotgun." I was like, "Whoa, it's like still light out. This lady's going hard." And I have a friend who's a I forget what exactly her job is. I went to high school with her, and she's a manager, I think road manager for country music. I know she works with Blake Shelton and works with this John Party guy. So I had posted a picture. There was a big fat person at the country music show. That's surprise, surprise. And they had a big USA flag shirt on. So I took a picture of it and said America and put it up on Instagram. And she and I posted that. So she saw this girl saw it and goes, "Oh, you're here? I'm in the back," because she's works with the talent, whatever. And I said, "This opening act is fantastic." And she's like, "Oh yeah, she's great. We just met her today because I guess the label sent her over saying you can have her open." And goes, "We asked her in the back if she want for her meal before the show, if she wants a vegan option." And she said, "Oh, do I look gay?" So I'm like, "There you go. Your country lady's back." And she was tough. She was drinking straight whiskey on the stage and rocking out. And she went on her knees, did like fucking like Nikki Six type moves of the guitar. It was pretty good. I liked it. But then the guy came out, John Party, and he's like, I guess he's known as Mr. Saturday Night. And I was like, all right, I don't know about this. And of course, he comes out right away. He goes, "It might be Thursday night right now, but every night is Saturday night." When he said it, everybody's like, "Saturday night." Like it was like I went to like like as a white person, you go to black church for the first time and you don't know all the moves that they know, and you're like, "Ah, fuck, I'm just here and they know moves. I don't know what to do with this." And you're just standing there like, "Doo-doo. Aren't we supposed to just pray and be sad?" They're like, "No, you got to do dance moves." I'm like, "I don't fuck. I thought I was supposed to be all guilty and just sit there and then kind of weirdly stare at people that you kind of know but not really while they're dressed nicer than they normally are, and then avoid shaking hands with an old piece of shit." That's usually what it is. But no, this guy was like all hokey and fucking stuff, and and then like I don't know. I don't like when it's shit like that. Like every day Saturday night. Then how the fuck did you get here on Thursday? Your calendar must be a fucking nightmare. You know what I mean? Like how the fuck do you do anything? Bobby says he's good, so let us see if Bobby is lying to me or he's telling you. Bobby, are you with us?
Yeah, my favorite part of that story was you were surprised there was a big fat person at a country concert.
I said it with so much sarcasm. It was crazy. It was, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I know. They call me
was taking
Mr.
pictures.
Tuesday Morning.
Yeah, I took a ton of pictures of stuff, and I looked down. I was way up. Free tickets from my radio station, so I'm very thankful to grab whatever because it was the arena show was happening before my show at Comics at 10. So I'm like, oh, I get up there early. I watch a show. I can pop out whenever the fuck I want to. I looked down. There was a couple fucking monsters. I'm talking. There was at least, from my bird's eye view, I could see at least 5 people pushing over 400 pounds.
My theorem for this is the more obscure the country musician, the fatter the fans are. Like the deeper you go into the wells of country, the deeper you go into deep frying your food.
Yes. This one you could tell he's getting popular because there was a lot of white women, Daisy Dukes, cowboy hats in Connecticut. We do have farms, but we don't need that. So you could tell the more outfits they wear, the more mainstream they're getting. You're right.
Exactly.
The more obscure, the more fat. So there was the hardcore party. They're called party animals, the fans, PARDI. That's his people. At least I'll give him credit. He is pushing the whole I'm drinking. I was saying at the beginning of this, country always had a big swing. Like it started off with I'm sad and my life's tough, but I'll make it through. And then it became I'm an alcoholic and I'm an outlaw. And then it kind of moved to like, just pop music. And then Blake Shelton and guys like that started bringing it back. And so with the element of, yeah, we're pop music, but also I know a guy who killed a guy. Like that kind of came into it for a little bit. And then women came up for a while and they're like, listen, fuck you. We drive trucks. Like this girl, her big song is her first car was a pickup truck. And she yelled out to people in Connecticut at an arena. She's like, who else's first car was a pickup truck? And I think one Mexican guy goes, see, like there wasn't much people yelling there for that.
Yo soy Emblo. Das truck.
Yeah, I'd like you if you soy Emblo'd me. That'd be nice. But I'm telling you, she came out, dude. She was just like, I hope you guys aren't shitty, Connecticut. And then like was swearing. She had a song. She goes, this one song, how about when sometimes a man will text you and say, we need to talk. And that means we're going to break up. You want to cut him off. And I mean, cut him off. I mean, by run him over with my car. So this song, she starts singing a song. And I'm like, this lady threatened to murder 2 people in a 30-minute set. It was like
outlaw country.
Yeah, and it was her first time ever opening for this guy, and it was crazy. And I just told them the story, but like a friend of mine is a manager, I think road manager, or I forget exactly her title, but she represents like she's got Blake Shelton, she's got other people too, but she was there and she was messaging back and forth saying how crazy this girl was. Like they even said, I made the joke about the vegan option thing, but the other main text was that they did say to her, "What do you want to eat?" She goes, "If I can't shoot it, I'm not eating it." And I've tried to shoot a carrot, and I ain't shooting a carrot. So
I like this chick.
Yeah, and from way far away, not ugly and gross. Country music still does that. Country music is still like, we're not going to give you even their fat girl is not really a fat girl. She's just like
Exactly.
she just does a lot of work on the farm. Like, you know what I mean? Like they still stick with that. And then their big fat men are still like groomed and well. They still, for people that are trash, they still care more about being presentable than the rest of the goofy world.
Now you get where all of my fashion sense comes from, Pat. I'm disgusting, but I try to be groomable.
That should be the name of your country album.
Disgusting but groomable. You got to be careful because that some people might think it's an Epstein Island type thing, and you don't want to get that label.
Also, two big words for people in the countryside. You know what I mean? So maybe don't do that thing.
What in the hell does disgusting mean?
No, your song would be "I'm gross, but I'm here." Like that would be like a love song. It's like,
I'm gross, but I try.
You might like that attractive guy, but he went bye-bye, so I'm gross. But I'm here. Drink your beer. That big hit. Huge hit.
I'm a 2, but I put in effort of in 10.
Yeah, Kish is right. Country music used to be when Hound Dog died, and then this classic that Kish has is a grandma just got out of prison, etc. Yeah, etc. is the big part to this.
I mean, country was always about getting drunk at some point, though. Like, think about Hank Williams Jr.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's the old time. That's the I love my land. I love my pride. Don't fuck with me. That's that time. For a while, it got very poppy, and it was like Lady Antebellum, and like there was that young kid that was supposed to be like the Justin Bieber of country music. I forget his Hunter or
Kane
something.
something.
There was a Kane guy too. It was all very pretty for a while. The big swing in it, if you for the last like 6 months, is that what Post Malone has decided to now be country. He's brought a lot of people up, but he's actually writing country songs with country people, and the guy can write any kind of song, and he does
Yeah.
fit the look of the modern country person. You know what I mean? Yeah, he does. They do. Hip hop is very much influenced country music in the last 5 years, and they weirdly merged together really well because they both tell stories and they both have really good messages and they both have unapologetically cornily rhyme. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah.
they both have no problem just rhyming for the sake of fucking rhyming. So when you put them together, and a good bass for either one of them makes the song better. So it makes more sense than like having an R&B song with like LL Cool J saying love me and shit. Like that never really worked. That mixture didn't work. Country and hip hop works because they're both just garbage. You know what I mean? I mean the best way possible.
Oh, absolutely. And it's funny if those two groups unified like in real life, they would get along very well. Like they both love riding ATVs and shooting guns and protecting their territory from invaders. Like that's the group society fears getting together.
Yeah, it's like if Rascal Flatts and Nelly existed 200 years ago, there'd be no Civil War. It was really crazy.
What was that Tim McGraw song they did?
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
No.
Be happy I knew.
That was the one song every DJ would play at like local dances because it covered both the country kids and the group that thought they were gangsters. Like that was the one unifying song was the Nelly Usher and Tim McGraw, Lady Antebellum group.
The number one country song right now is by that boozy guy. It's black guy.
Pour me up a double shot of whiskey.
It's a country ass song, man.
It is, really except for it's 100% a ripoff of Jake Wan's Tipsy. Here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Everybody drunk out on the dance floor.
Right, but every country song in the last 20 years is a ripoff of a hip hop or dance song because they're just trying to get people to do the country line. They want to make that line dance because in the middle of this country, the people that coordinate those things, they go there, all dance to it. So all they do is rip off dance beats and familiar things so they can do a dance to it and throw country words.
I could see that. My issue is I like circles at my dances. Dance circles, not dance lines.
You like circle jerks. Ladies and gentlemen, the show's on fire. Hey.
Yeah, we're coming out swinging.
And by the way, real quick, I want to say congratulations to former guest of the show, our boy Blind Jeff. Won the contest that Frank put on last night in a nice battle of comedians at Comics Roadhouse. And now he's big time now. When we had him on before, he was just regular Jeff. Now he shows up and he has a guy with him from Georgia who's now his Sherpa and walks him around and shit. So he had like a man walking him around because he can't see or nothing.
That's crazy. Also, did you guys call that the special comedy competition? Like if you're letting people like Jeff
you didn't need to. No, believe me, he was the least special of all. He at one point told a joke and he's like, I was listening to the audio of P. Diddy. I went up after, I go, no offense, everything for you is audio. Like what he
there's no video. Exactly.
Like your porn is just sounds.
100%.
Me and the sound guy were laughing because he's like, do you think he has enhanced senses like they always say? I'm like, yeah, but watch this not be like hearing or smell, it's just touch. He's like, you want me to show you my senses? Like, look how touchy, look how I feel you. It's like, all right.
You know, maybe I'm gonna pretend with these sunglasses and just steal Jeff's act tonight.
Yeah, where are you performing, by the way? Let people know that.
Oh, I'm at Dead Crow Comedy Club tonight.
That's in where? South Carolina?
North Carolina. But right on the border. It's about an hour from Myrtle Beach.
Nice. Well, you're gonna murder Myrtle Beach. I don't mean like you're gonna kill them or anything. I mean like you're gonna do well.
Well, I found a very secluded area and a family decided this was the perfect spot to play, so there may be murder involved.
Well, what you should be doing is when you're there and you're having a great weekend, you're all charming at the end, be like, hey, I can come back and feature with my friend and podcast. We can come down there together and do a show. Because Dead Crow's known to give newer, unknown people a chance to do shit like that.
100%. Literally, I didn't have this gig. My mom was going down to the beach this weekend and I saw them shuffling and I just emailed the club and hit up the manager and was like, any chance you can work me in now that somebody canceled? And she was like, you want to host? I know you normally feature, but you want to host? And it's beautiful. So I'll definitely talk to Amy and see what I can do for you.
Cool. I mean, if I'm like, and you're going to be with a friend of mine that I met through Frank's Bringers, MT Bottles, big, fat, hilarious guy. He has ties in Connecticut somehow. I forget how. And he came down. He was like, he wanted to get on a stage. So he did the Bringers show. Great dude. We always chat back and forth. And he wants to come back down this way anyway. So when I saw his name on, I'm like, you guys will have a blast together.
Oh, it's going to be a fun weekend. I look forward to the POS takeover of Dead Grow coming soon.
Dead girls are the best. That's what V said. I don't know if we could post that, but I think we can because the context is there, because there's black hearts.
Yeah, and, you know, he could be talking about like Amelia Earhart.
Who's your favorite? Okay, who's your top 4 dead women of all time?
Natalie. What was that one? The one that disappeared in Aruba.
Oh, I thought you meant just
a friend.
Oh, Natalie.
What was her name in Aruba? Hathaway? Holloway.
Oh, the
That would
famous
definitely
actress
be.
lady?
No, that's Anne, her sister. This one went and disappeared.
I think there was something Holloway. Kish, you know, you're old as fuck. There was like a Natalie Holloway.
Then maybe I'm getting them confused. So she'd be one.
Whitney Houston
Cleopatra.
doesn't make your top 4 ladies?
You're going to be real pissed when I sneak in Amy Winehouse before Whitney Houston.
You know what? I'll throw her in too, but I don't know. Yeah, okay. She was fun and she had energy and she stole black culture. We all love those things. But like an English woman stealing black culture is a lot of fun. But if she lived in the same joke about like Biggie and Patrice, if they lived longer, they would have died by now. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Yeah. So I don't think she would have had many hits. Same thing like Nirvana would have got real sad. Sometimes you should die at a certain point. You know what I mean? Most of the 27 deaths were going to be really sad 45-year-olds. Like Kurt Cobain on Twitter would have been fucking annoying as shit.
Oh, God, he would have been so woke.
Ugh.
He probably would have been Christine Cobain at this point.
Yeah, he'd be trans by now, 100%. Wearing that same cardigan sweater.
Did you see the rumors going around that the CIA is the one who did him in? Because Courtney
the CIA
loves
kills everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, Courtney Love's dad worked for the CIA, and he also managed the Grateful Dead. So the Grateful Dead was probably just a CIA psyop to sell acid to people and try to MK Ultra them.
Okay,
it's my new theory.
I like your theory, but it's funny that we could just say, did you hear the rumor? It's like I love to imagine like CIA guys going. I know I'm not supposed to tell, but here's some shit we're doing. It's like, all right, you
got a trench coat. He's got a trench coat. I got CIA secrets for $2.
He's got that one CIA guy in his cubicle. He's got the meme of Kermit the Frog sipping the tea. Like, he's like, this guy's got the tea. Like, Bigfoot fucked Elvis. It's like, okay.
Oh man,
that's what Elvis said. He's like, oh.
Yeah. Whoa, what are we doing?
Whoa, hey, boo, boo. Whatever Elvis said. What did Elvis say besides the N-word? He had said fun stuff.
I'm gonna marry a 16-year-old. That's what he would say a lot.
Oh, I didn't tell you that. I forgot about that. Last week I did a show and a guy yells out. I was during my set. He just goes, "God damn it! Somebody say the N-word."
That guy's a hero.
Like, well, I said, "Go ahead, sir," and he looked around and he said it. Just silence, and everyone's like, "All right, can we move on now?" I guess he thought he gets some kind of reaction. He just said the N-word, and then he's like, "All right." I go, "I'm happy you said your safe word," and then we moved on.
And you didn't get like a round of applause or something? I don't know if I like the people in Connecticut.
That. Yeah, no one else was waiting for this. This was one of those BYO everything shows. So like,
this guy BYO N-word.
Yeah, this guy brought everything. Oh, you know John? I think we discussed it before. You know who John Valby is?
Yes, you explained it last
Dirty. Time. Right, yeah.
Yep.
So I was at Comics last night talking to the manager, Dan, and another guy who works there, Matt, and they were talking about how last time Dr. Dirty has been told no more saying the N-word. So he's worked out a thing where he now gets the audience to say it. So, because he can't. So he sings a song and he leaves the opening for the rhyme, and then they all just chant it. And I said, by the way, next time you guys see Dr. Dirty, please let him know that this is from me and he can keep it. But he should call this the interactive experience. And they're like,
amazing.
dude. They're like, we will give that to him. Like, that'd be right there, right in the poster. I come for an interactive experience. Now I know
It's
that
now
you're
the
out and about.
interactive tour.
I know you're out and about, so I don't know if you have a lot of stories. I have plenty if you do not, but if you have some, that'd
You
be
know what? I
wonderful.
do have some because I heard that you were at the casino late last night, and I was like, I didn't bring my A game Thursday. Let me be ready for Pat today. So, would you like to hear about large sums of money in places it's not supposed to be? By the way, BYO N word is what walked the family.
Oh, they did. They were right there.
They turned around and left. Like there were like 12 kids just out here, and I said that very loud, and they all got up and
Oh,
left.
you know what? They probably forgot their N word and they're going to get
That
it.
I hope not, because it was already loud enough.
The empty bottle shows up. You're like, oh, nice to meet you. The show's later.
Oh, hey, buddy. Um, so would you like to hear about large sums of money? That's one option. Would you like to hear about Florida Man? We haven't talked about Florida Man in a while, and I forget my third option, so it's probably not as good as the other two.
I think if we're going to kick off Friday, we should do it with Florida.
All right. Let me see if I can pull up my story quick. If not, I've got the basics.
Uh-oh. Moving the camera around got you all Frozen Jones. There you go.
So you couldn't hear me at all when I opened my new tab, could you?
No. So don't
That's
worry
okay.
about it. Give us the gist.
So basically, a man named something Davis adopted an alligator in Florida from a local shelter. He was raising it. He has whatever background you're supposed to have to train it. And one day he was basically able to realize that the alligator was good at fetching. Like he was trying to keep it active. Apparently, if you don't keep gators active, that's when they get ornery. And he realized it was pretty good at fetching. It would do a ball, it would do a stick, it would do a plush toy. And then he thought, what about the newspaper? So he trained this alligator to go get the newspaper. And it became a point where the whole town would be out to watch his alligator Snappy go get the newspaper every day. Like it would walk down. It was almost kind of like the Peabody Ducks at the hotel in Memphis.
How do
Yeah,
you
but
train
with
an
Snappy.
alligator? That's crazy.
Well, that's a great question, Pat, because as of yesterday, Snappy snapped back. And neighbors
Oh,
came when they heard a
Snappy.
ruckus and some screaming. And, well, Snappy put an end to Mr. Davis. And I'm
Oh, he
guessing the
killed the guy who
newspaper.
trained him?
Yep.
I was hoping
So-
it was like an old lady or something.
So who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it
Snappy.
Mr. Davis for training an alligator? Like, obviously, it could be Snappy for eating the guy who trained her, but we don't know what he did that set her off.
Yeah.
Is it the
He
guy
wanted
who
new
thought, let me?
shorts?
Yeah, he made it get the newspaper. I don't like getting the newspaper. Do you?
Who the fuck
Is
gets
it?
the newspaper?
Good point. Very good point. Or is the piece of shit in this story all the neighbors who watched? You know they were. It's like NASCAR. You're not going to see who wins the race. You're hoping you're there the day somebody dies. Who's the piece of shit in this story?
It's
Pat.
not Terry Nee because we had the same thought at the same time. So I threw it up there. So he wrote it as I was saying it. Now,
I love
first of all, it's definitely not Snappy. Snappy's got to be mad. A snapping alligator named Snappy is just like when in Roots when they called Kunta Kinte Toby. It's like the most fucked up name. It's like that's not my name. I'm not Snappy. Like that'd be like if you were called like Toki and I was called Baldy. You know what I mean? Like
You know what? I didn't think about that, but that's good. That would piss me off.
yeah, I'd be like, it's just a thing I do. And to be honest, yes, you can call like that a snap, and it's really a bite. He's bitey because snapping involves your fingers and things, and it's a thing that alligators don't even have. So you're kind of being a dick. It's like, it's like calling the person without arms handsy. It's like you can't. I mean, it's fun, but you can't call him handsy. And you'd like to, but you cannot. So good morning, Chris Abels, by the way. So like
Welcome
Snappy
aboard,
is not
Abels.
crappy. No, see, I disagree with you because Snappy's not crappy at all. Snappy was brought into a place he's not supposed to be. Yeah, he was turned into a pet. You're not supposed to make them pets. And then he was forced into labor in like a chore. And then people would watch the chore. It's a lot like slavery where they're like, hey, can we come over and watch your people farm? And they're like, sure. And then they just watch them. And then one day, one of the slaves turns around and kills a guy. And you're like, oh, that one was nuts. It's like, I don't know if he was nuts. He was tired of being like the show. You know what I mean? And yes, go ahead.
No, even in Germany, they don't charge you if you try to break out of prison because they're like, it's human nature to try to be free. I would apply same logic.
Yeah, and I understand. I didn't mean to like compare the plight of slavery to being an alligator, but it's in this case it's similar. I don't mean that. I think alligators should also get a month. But by the way, Bobby, I did try something we said here on the podcast on stage last night. saying that we should flip February and June for the months, and
Home run.
not every, well, maybe an inside the park home run, because there was our former guest of the show, Matt Sloan, was there cheering off his blind friend Jeff, and he, in the middle of this room, was cackling as no one else did. So like it murdered with him, and then everyone looked around like, what the fuck? But yeah, I busted Matt's balls a lot, but I'm really, that is, if you want to have one friend who supports you, that guy Jeff and his roommate, but they also had like I said, they have a Sherpa guy who's like a Georgia guy who just walks Jeff. Jeff's got a good fan base. I went on stage after, I go, listen, Jeff's had to overcome a lot to be here. He's not only is he blind, but also his roommate is a crippling alcoholic. And everybody was like cheering. So,
his roommate's the only one who found that bit funny, guys. So he overcame that.
Yeah. So it's not snappy at all. It's not the people. Listen, if I found out that every day a guy walked his snapping alligator outside and the alligator got the newspaper, I'd be out there every day with a coffee watching the alligator. I'd invite people over being like, hey, you want to watch something fucking nuts? You want to get high and have the best beginning to your day of all times? An alligator gets the paper. It's like, and the guy's like, what's next? Does the turtle give you hand jobs? It's like, well, that's Tuesdays, but that's not every day. It's like, but
wait till you go to this Carolina aquarium, because we've got the new thing. Stingrays you can fuck, but will never get pregnant.
Yeah, this lady named Brenda started it. It's amazing. But
much like the stingray, Brenda's also barren.
It has to be Davis, right? It has to be a guy who, listen, I'm not for keeping animals or making pets out of animals that aren't supposed to be pets. Like, people shouldn't have tigers, stuff like that. But I get the allure of it, especially if you're somebody who doesn't have. It sounds like Davis didn't have much of a personality and need to link onto something. And he was like, you know what? I'm gonna be I own an alligator and make him do tricks guy. And it's a crazy thing to be. Like, I know a comedian, his name's Rob Steen, a very funny guy in New Hampshire, is one of the bigger comics there and stuff like that. But he also is more known. He used to go on Letterman all the time, and his credits would be three appearances on David Letterman. But you're probably like, well, I never heard him as a comic. Well, he didn't go on as a comic. He went on for the stupid tricks king, stupid human tricks, and he would take a stool and balance it on his stupid chin and just stand like this and do shit. And he could never let that go. Even when he was doing comedy, he couldn't. Sometimes you got to do what you love. And maybe this guy loves having alligators as his pet and making him get the newspaper. But if you're going to have an alligator and make it get the newspaper, you should expect that at some point they're going to go postal, like postal workers, and go after you. Like, so he's the piece of shit for thinking that an alligator was always just going to be on board.
Well, Pat, if it's truly that he was like your friend with the stool on his chin, and he just loved training alligators so much, would you say he died doing what he loved?
No, I don't think he loved being eaten.
Ah, fuck. Thought we had a happy ending.
If he was your mom, hey, who do you think the piece of shit was?
The shelter that allows this man to, or allowed, I guess, since he's not going to be with us anymore, allowed the guy to adopt fucking alligators. They're a deadly animal. You should not be allowed to adopt and train them. I don't care what kind of license you have. They should be kept in a cage.
I don't think he had a license.
That's what the story said. Like, he had a special like you have to get a special permit or something to adopt alligators. Because it was such a problem.
It's got to be so fun to be someone who works in those offices, like in the whatever little dumb town it is, just like you're making the call that you're going to do a special circumstance. Like, those guys are the best. It's like, why is that lady, like a lady in Stanford, Connecticut, had that monkey? Because they did give her special circumstance. The person who makes that call is never right, but they're so proud to put their name on paper to be like, yeah, well, you know what? They seem like they were just good kindred spirits. It's like, you shouldn't be allowed to sign off shit. Like, I don't know who let you sign off shit, but you have wild fucking views.
You should have a special permit to sign your special permit papers.
V makes a good point. It's the owner, but because you can't expect anyone else, they're all filming it. Yeah, it is wild that everyone just would hold their. Not that they would help, but you could literally throw your phone at the alligator and do more help than film.
I mean, you saw how the alligator reacted to this guy who loved him or her. I don't know what the Snappy's gender is, but do you think this stranger who now attacked it is going to get treated much better? I mean, maybe Snappy's full because I'm guessing this dude was pretty large.
Well, I'm going to say, like, I do believe that when it comes to domesticated animals, with because they're raised only in that environment, people that own dogs, who own cats, I do believe that those animals truly do whatever their version of love is, loves their owner. Like it
Yeah.
becomes like this, it becomes like a mother son type thing, mother daughter type thing. Sometimes even like, and I'm not trying to be gross, I don't mean it like in relation, but it almost becomes like a relationship too. Not that they're like doing shit, but they really become symbiotic to each other. The person needs the animal because, but they've always been raised together. It's the ones that dogs have been out, the feral animals, things like that, that when they come in, I don't think it's love. I think it's survival, and there's a big difference. I don't believe an alligator could love a person. I think they literally just know that they're out of their element. They need to survive, and they're going to continue to do that till they figure out a way to get through it. It's evolution. So that alligator was like, I do this every day. I do this every. It's kind of like when Shawshank, where every day he's got the spoon, he's digging a little bit, and he's paying a little bit, but he hides it. But one day he knows it's going to bust free, and everyone's like, "Whoa, I never saw that coming." And that's kind of what this is. I think he was just like playing this idiot until I don't think he
Shawshank
ever
and that
cared for him.
idiot.
So
Yeah.
he was going to eat whoever was there. It didn't really. To be honest, he probably would have been cooler to the stranger because he didn't have this hatred of like, you're not, the stranger wasn't, has that scent, doesn't have that scent of the person that makes me get the fucking paper.
Didn't hold it over him either. Exactly. Almost
How
like
about that?
liking.
The piece. Go ahead.
No. It's almost like not liking your captor more.
Right. The piece of shit is the newspaper for not using this as the advertisement. It's like, you should read us online.
Subscribe now for just
Our
$1.99 a month. No alligator deaths, guaranteed.
Our newspaper is so riveting. You'll risk life and limb. Stingrays did not work out for Steve Irwin. We understand that, but he also was a man who
not fucking him,
trained to battle and do shit. You know what I mean? Like this guy was just as far as we know by Bobby's article there, that this guy didn't have any training. He was just an idiot.
Yeah, he had some special license that I think you have to pay like 50 extra bucks for.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking goofy and shit, but you know, good on him, Mr. Davis. Do you want some good news?
Sure. Is it the Bible?
No, but listen, you fat pieces of shit. You got what you wanted. You know, everybody's been complaining that McDonald's is too expensive. That's all we've been hearing for like a year. McDonald's.
Yeah.
Well, McDonald's heard you, America. They fucking heard you. McDonald's debuts $5 meal deal. It's back. And free fries Friday. We heard our fans.
Wait a second.
Clear.
Today's Friday, Pat.
It starts next week.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah. Despite years of inflation and rising food costs, McDonald's customers can expect good value from their value meals again. As the prices of fast food rise, McDonald's, which prides itself on value, launching its hotly anticipated $5 meal deal next week as the chain begins offering more ways to save exclusively for app users. We heard our fans loud and clear. They're looking for even more great value from us, and this summer, that's exactly what they'll get. The U.S. President McDonald's, Joe Ender, said in a statement, "Value had always been part of our DNA. We're focusing on living up that legacy and offering a delicious, affordable option customers can enjoy anytime they walk through the doors, go through our drive-thru, or place an order through our app. Starting June 25th, patrons can score a meal for just $5 under the golden arches with their choice of a McDouble or McChicken sandwich, a small fry, 4-piece nugget, and a small fountain beverage at select locations." For McDonald's loyalists who have downloaded this app, they can enjoy the company's free Fridays meal, free medium fry with $1 minimum purchase until the end of the year. Locations across the U.S. will also be serving up neighborhood-specific deals for locals, which differ from city to city. In Memphis, Tennessee, fast food fanatics can get a buy one, get one on $1 breakfast Sammys, and customers in Western New York can order up a mix and match McChicken and McDouble menu item for just under $4. So they're trying again. Yeah, you got to get the app and do all that kind of shit, but they're trying again to make sure that people aren't fucking crushing their money, because fast food's supposed to be fast, but also supposed to be cheap. But who's the piece of shit in the story? Is it McDonald's rather than the buckle under pressure? Listen, inflation went up, prices went up, all those things happened. They had to do their thing. Is it fat people feeling like, what the fuck, McDonald's? We don't care about expenses and costs. You're fucking McDonald's. We want our shit food cheap. This isn't good enough food to pay for it. Or is it anyone who's still like, That's not enough. I need more cheaper. I need the combo meals not to be this. I need cheaper. Who's the piece of shit?
Terry Nee, I hope you're in the chat, buddy. Because the piece of shit for me is Obama in this one. He created the inflation that got us into this position. Yes, you should not be paying $20 for fast food, but it's not McDonald's fault. They're going to make it as cheap as they can and still optimize their profits. We made a bunch of bad trade deals. We built a pipeline and then blew it up. Like, we have fucked the economy so badly. Dude, a cheesy double beef burrito was 89 cents in 2010.
Yeah.
They are $8.99 now. Like, it's beyond, and it's not, I don't think anybody did it intentionally. I don't think anybody saw the ramifications, but it's whoever created this inflation so badly. Wasn't this bad when
jump off for 1 second, so if you can talk McDonald's with these people for a minute, I'll be right back.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk McDonald's, we'll talk Obama, we'll talk the fact that Pat just endorsed Obama by leaving. I don't think this will put McDonald's out of business, V. I do think that this will get like that initial pop right away where people run in and use the app and then it'll go away, kind of like they did with the Szechuan sauce from the Rick and Morty days. I apologize. I'm not able to read the comments as well on my phone. Give me 1 second to pull them up. Terry Nee, you're welcome. It was the Federal Reserve's fault. Do we need a federal government at this point? That would be my real question. Maybe they're the piece of shit. I'm not saying all the parts of the Civil War were right, but the idea that a strong federal oppressive government would be bad might not be the worst idea in the world. Focusing on individuals who could have local issues and come together to fight might be better off. But yeah, I think part of it is whoever created the inflation. Also, McDonald's is kind of a piece of shit because they still haven't brought the snack wraps back. Nobody wants to talk about this, but that might have been the worst loss of COVID was McDonald's snack wraps. No moss. And sure, Wendy's has some every once in a while, but they're not the same. What am I going to get? A honey mustard? Yeah, great question, Kish. What did happen to the 2-for-1 filet of fish during Fridays in Line? It's almost like they've gone anti-Catholic on us. And yeah, it is 1,000% increase. And it's Taco Bell. I go to Taco Bell because I spent all my money on weed and I don't have any weed or I don't have any money. And now I'm hungry and I've got the munchies. So I got to go to Taco Bell and spend $5 and leave with 12 things. That said, that might have been part of what made us fat. It'd be cool if all this new inflation came because they were getting rid of the stuff that's killing us in our foods. Yeah, almost like an art, but if almost like in a, if you've been to Jamaica or England or even Canada for the most part, they have a lot of ingredients that we in the United States are allowed, they disallow. And if you look at their population, it's a lot smaller. And I'm not saying, you shouldn't take self-responsibility for being in shape, but when literally like the only thing you can afford is going to make you fat, it makes life pretty tough. Did Pat just change into an I Love McDonald's shirt? That'd be the coolest thing ever. Pat, is that an I Love McDonald's shirt?
No, it's a Big Lots thing.
Oh,
We love red. Dude, I'd be rocking it red. That would have been the first story. I wouldn't let you go first if I had a McDonald's shirt on. I
thought for sure you went to the bathroom and just were like, I love the new value meal shirts. Ladies and gentlemen, I did get a job and I'm working at McDonald's. Pat got himself a job. So yeah, we talked a lot about.
I did get a job, but it's not that sweet.
You're not loving it? We did talk a little bit about McDonald's. We talked about getting rid of the federal government, for Confederation. We talked about how the South might have been right in the Civil War just to catch you up while you were gone.
No, well, I'm very happy we had that kind of. It always goes back to the Civil War with us.
Well, we were, just. There we go.
I couldn't hear you for a second. Yeah.
No, I know. It's because my phone just thought, why don't we text Pat even though you're talking to him on the phone? And we'll just exit this thing you've been fighting so hard to do. By the way, if anybody wanted to send a message to the people of Samsung, they should all unalive. It's the worst company in the world. And
worst company in the world?
Yeah, it makes me regret winning the Korean War.
You won the Korean War?
We did.
I thought it was Bobby versus Korea. I was like, all right.
No, my grandparents were in it. My mom's dad drove train like through the Viet Cong area, which was pretty intense. My dad's dad, he figured out if I go to Japan, nobody will kill me. So he found a way to get to Japan during the Korean War.
Jeez.
Both Bobby moves for sure.
Um, I, my piece of shit in this story is anyone that was complaining and isn't. I'm not gonna lie, I'm happy about this. I like a $5 meal. I know it's just whatever. It's basically just doing Wendy's biggie bag, but that's fine. I have no problem with that. They all copy from each other anyway. For a while, every other fast food place copied everything McDonald's did. That's fine. That they saw what
Yeah,
was going on. Wendy's is smart. Wendy's has very expensive meals. You do a baconator, you're spending like $16 for a fucking large
at
meal.
least.
You know what I mean? You're dropping a lot of money on that. So they also know, okay, if you want our food, can't spend that. Biggie Bag has like a Dave's Junior or something like Junior Deluxe, fucking chicken nugs, fries, and a fucking drink, and you get a little bag of shit. It's not crazy, but it's something to throw in your car when you're driving around doing shit and get your day going. Yeah, it's fun to joke about it and stuff, but America, fuck, they don't run on Dunkin'. They still run on fast food. As much as people want to be like, I'm healthy, whatever, they're the ones who are in their cars sneaking at McDonald's. You know what I mean? So they're out there doing their fucking thing, eating their food, and sometimes it's good. Now it's not going to end up being $5. The problem is the complaint when like it's $5, but it's going to be a lot of add-ons, a lot of other shit. It's going to start at $5, and there's going to be taxes. It's going to be like 6 and change. So people are going to walk in with just a 5 going, can I get shit? Now the free Fridays is cool, but it's just their way to get you on the app. They're noticing that their app isn't doing the job. Again, Wendy's app does get you free breakfast and shit like that. Dunkin' Donuts crushes it on their app. All these fast food places are doing it on their app so you can order. McDonald's has been trying to get people to order without coming in for a while. And we just did the story the other day how they don't want AI to do the drive-through anymore. So this is a way of kind of also, not that they did it everywhere, but 100 locations. They're probably also saying like, hey, sorry that some people got charged $222 for chicken nuggets. Here's a $5 fucking deal. Now I think they should do it. I think they should only make ridiculously sized meals the cheap ones. Like they have that one meal where it's a family. Well, first of all, if this is your family, you're the fattest family ever. It's like the Family Buster, whatever. 2 Big Macs, 210 or 120-piece nugget and 2 Diet Cokes. It's like that's your meal. If that's your meal, if you're gonna eat that, it should be only $5. But you have to finish it or you have to pay $10. Like I have
do
to
like
see
that.
one guy eat it. You have to
I
put
do
a
like that.
video on. You have to go on the McDonald's app, and you have to just be proof of you eating all that food like a gluttonous fuck. Then they have blackmail of you just eating all that shit,
That they can use against you if you ever need it.
or just to know it's out there. I mean, even if you want to brag to people, you can still show it off. Like, look what I did. Some people might want to be on there every day, see if they can beat their own records. You can do whatever you want with the filming, but people would do it. It would be almost like the what you call it, the people of Walmart videos that come out from Walmart's cams. And then like that kind of thing that McDonald's would have like the McDisgustos or something like that. And they were just there to all being gross.
And they could put that on the app in a real form and get people to just log in and just stay on their app forever.
Yeah. It's crazy that people got mad at a business for having to raise their prices. It's wild that the same people don't want to understand that they have gas prices are nuts. Well, do you know how we get gas? Do you know where oil comes from? Do you know how you get? It's politicians. You think politicians were involved in McDonald's? They were not. But I don't know if you know how the food gets to McDonald's. It's also gas. There's a lot involved. It's not just that the price of food went up. You ask people like, why is it inflation? Because it's more. Well, no, there's a lot involved in it. But now McDonald's, who's a $1 trillion company, has to fucking make less profit to make sure their fat fucks keep coming. In other countries, they would have gone, no McDonald's for you, and cut off all their heads. Anyone that complained about it. And then they're like, oh, now we don't have a problem anymore, right? Like, no, McDonald's is fine at $5 billion a French fry.
That's very true. The one company I think is an exception to the rule is Arby's, because their big promotion and like, well, no, that's their new promotion. Their old promotion was 5 for $5, where you get 5 roast beef sandwiches for $5. Now their new deal is 2 for $6.
Yeah,
and it's like you come up with a new nothing for nothing because you're just reminding me of how much more expensive you've gotten. Plus, your food makes me throw up.
But Bobby, if you had to pinpoint one special that made the middle of this country obese, it was the 5 for $5. Like that needed to be stopped because people weren't buying 5 and bringing it home for 4 friends. Somebody was eating 5 roast beef and cheese with Arby's sauce sandwiches. the amount of work that went into their toilet, that went into their insides, that's 2 for $6 is still an amazing deal for a piled on roast beef with some goo cheese and the fucking sauce. It's a great deal.
It's not. You throw it up later.
Yeah. What do you think you're doing with 5?
Making friends.
You're not making
as we all throw up.
If a strange man walked up to me and said, "You want a beef sandwich?" I'm not his friend.
He's gonna fight you. He's gonna think you're challenging him. You want a beef sandwich?
He's gonna turn into Snappy the turtle, whatever the fuck his name was. Fucking
the alligator.
Yeah,
it'd be amazing if it was a
turtle's name. It's supposed to be a turtle's name. It's a wrong name.
Would fit better, that's for sure.
What do you got? You got some shit?
I sure do. Did we discuss
That's our new show? The new title of the show is "You Got Some Shit." That's our new show.
Did we discuss the Bigfoot murder case on here?
No, we certainly did not.
Okay. So, Pat, we have an update on the Bigfoot murder case, and I can't read the actual names.
We have an update on a story we haven't covered.
Well, more of a final resolution, if you will. So basically, 2 friends, we'll just call them
like
Bobby and Pat. And kinda. We have 2 friends like Bobby and Pat. They go out in the woods. I can't remember their names, and I can't read the article because my phone sucks. Again, fuck you, Samsung. But 2 friends go out in the woods. One friend, we'll call him Pat, decides to start summoning Bigfoot to scare Bobby. Bobby goes, "Yo, man, stop." He goes, "No, I'm channeling Bigfoot. I'm going to be Bigfoot." Turns into Bigfoot and starts attacking the guy named Bobby. Not really named, but like the other guy. The guy named the Bobby guy in our story shoots Bigfoot, kills him dead, and then claims self-defense.
1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know that I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but you don't have to Tony Danza this. I would be able to follow the story if you're like, I better put Pat's name and Bobby's name in it so he gets it. You could just say the 2 fellas.
The 2 fellas. So fella A pretends to be Bigfoot. Fella B shoots him. Fella B and his defense attorney claim, "Nah, man, that's self-defense. You're telling me you wouldn't shoot Bigfoot if he was going to attack you?" And then the guy who shot Bigfoot went to prison for life. Who's the piece of shit in this story?
But he wasn't Bigfoot. He didn't shoot Bigfoot.
The guy said he was becoming Bigfoot. Even if you didn't think he was becoming Bigfoot. Right? Like if guy A goes, "I'm Bigfoot now and I'm going to attack you," are you justified in defending yourself? You know what I mean? Like, is it the second guy? You knew your friend wasn't Bigfoot. Is it the defense attorney who went, "Yeah, let's go with the self-defense claim here"? Pat, we'll throw it to you first because you're here.
It's definitely not the guy who yells out, "I'm turning into Bigfoot." That guy has way more problems than being our piece of shit in the story. Like, that's insane that you're just yell out, "I'm turning." If when people aren't always sure when their rock bottom is, that's a human being's rock bottom. The second,
well, he hit the rocks.
I'm turning into Bigfoot. That's insane. That's insane that he. Obviously, there was drugs and drinking. There was a lot involved here. So to say you're turning into Bigfoot, it's not his friend. Go ahead.
Or does he just know how to channel the guy? Who knows? You know, I'm not a scientist.
That was gonna be my point. Bigfoot's not a guy. So like, Bigfoot's A, not real, and B, if there was only one, we all think there's only one of them. I guess if there were, there'd be big feet. But if there is one, he's not some guy's friend. You know what I mean? Like, he's not living his life hiding, but then also chilling with this guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Bigfoot's on the lam a lot. He wouldn't just be like, "I gotta be back. I'll be back later. I have to go to the woods in Maine and be blurry. I'll be back in 20." Like, it'd be a lot of traveling for this man. There's a lot of holes in this story here, which sounds like a story where I would think the real thing that happened was Mr. Bigfoot tried to put his big piece inside this other guy. He went, "Yeah, I'd like to give you a big foot long." And he goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, I'm not gay." Badoosh. And then tried to kill him and go, "Yeah, he was turning into Bigfoot. It was something hairy and blurry and coming at me, and I didn't like it." So,
I didn't like it.
I think the piece of shit is society for not allowing these 2 gay men to be in love. Like, they had to like lie and hide and do a whole role play thing about Bigfoot, and we were all supposed to believe that's what it is. But in reality, it was just 2 men who just wanted to fuck.
And you know, I'm in Virginia, and they say love is love here. Virginia is for lovers. So I can see what you're saying. For me, the Sasquatch murder, yes, Kish, I think that is. Maybe he said Sasquatch. I think the article I read said Bigfoot. For me, the piece of shit's the defense attorney. You can't come up with something better than this. Like, you just grab your client and go, I know you think this is what happened, but if you say this, you're going to prison for life. We need to figure out a better plan. And then the guy was like, nah, it was Bigfoot. He was like, all right, we're going to say he tried to rape you.
As Bigfoot.
Yep. Like, literally, your story, Pat, I'd have quit.
Right. I think, Bobby, I think it's the opposite. I think that he told his story, and the lawyer's like, we got to, how do we make them think you're nuts? Dude,
that's a good point,
too.
Say he
turned into Bigfoot. What? He did like Bigfoot a little bit. Yeah, say that he thought he was becoming Bigfoot. One time he was drunk and he said that. Oh, okay. Then go with that.
Perfect.
You can move. We're not lying. He has said it before, and then you shot him. We're not saying exactly when both those times happened at the same time, but let's go with that because that way we can get you off on being nuts.
Oh, shit. Get you off like Sasquatch was trying to in your butt.
Yeah, right in your butt. The abominable gay man.
You know what? That's a very good take, Pat. And I forget, this was the middle of the country somewhere. So this could be like my cousin Vinny, like, we're just going to try this.
Yeah, we're going to throw this against the wall and see if it fucking sticks. Let's just go with it.
Yeah.
By the way, we've been talking a lot about violence today, Bobby. You really brought it with violence. You had the alligator eat a guy, get in the paper. You had the Bigfoot thing. I had fat fucks getting deals. But I feel the influence, so I feel like I need to go towards violence. So I'm going to go with you.
Come to the dark side.
Yeah, we're going to call it Fuck 'em Up Fridays now. That's what we're doing. You get them fucked up.
Wop, 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 wop.
Passengers busted after trying to pass grenades through security at Pittsburgh International Airport.
We both had this one.
All right. Can you guess? Ronnie Reyes is our author. What is our opening line for the New York Post?
An explosive discovery at the Pittsburgh airport.
You're close, but once again, you're using big words. This is the New York Post.
Boom goes the grenade in Pittsburgh.
Close. The TSA doesn't want you to have a blast this summer.
You know, I've heard worse.
It's that simple. Yeah, it's
yeah.
Simple. So 2 guys were busted at Pittsburgh Wednesday. They were trying to bring smoke grenades in an inner. Dion just said Bobby's travel mic is the best he's ever sounded. I'm not gonna lie. You're very clear today. These 2 guys got busted. They tried to bring smoke grenades and an inert explosive grenade aboard their flights. A spokesperson for TSA, Lisa Farbstein, Jew, said agents first came across a man who thought he could pass a security checkpoint while carrying a hand grenade in his bag. Most people plan on having a blast on their trip. They won't stop with this joke. So I guess the person did a quote, and then the author tried to play with the quote. But this is a TSA agent making this wacky joke. Like, they're like, hey, someone tried to bring bombs and explosives. They're like, yeah, they're trying to have a blast. Like, all right, stop being fun. All right,
what
TSA
the fuck?
Agent,
Yeah, are we under a terror attack or not, TSA?
Yeah, aren't we in orange or the fucking is? What the fuck color code are we? But this guy wasn't thinking along those lines when TSA officers intercepted the grenade at the airport checkpoint yesterday. Farbstein, one of the spokespersons for the TSA, wrote on X. Why does she have a Twitter account? Why can I follow Farbstein on Twitter?
I mean, better question, why aren't you following her? She sounds
I'm not allowed to follow anybody because we said retard on our podcast, and now I'm not allowed to follow anyone on X. Fortunately, it was inert. However, grenades, live or inert, are not allowed on planes, she reminded travelers. Now you tell me. I got to go empty my bag of all my inert grenades.
Good evening, fellow Pittsburgh International Air Flyers. We would just like a friendly reminder that inert or not, grenades are not allowed on the plane.
By the way, as I'm going through this, it shows other articles to explore. It says, woman sues boyfriend after he fails to drive her to airport. But
we both know some people like that.
Yes. But it seemed like not everyone got the memo, as Farbstein flagged another incident an hour later where a customer was carrying an active M18 smoke grenade in their carry-on bag. So wait, this like they weren't together. I thought it was just two guys together. It was two separate grenade instances at the Pittsburgh airport.
It begs the question, what is happening at the Pittsburgh airport? Like, why are there so many grenades just on the streets of Pittsburgh?
Why do you guys still have an Andy Warhol museum? That guy sucks. Fucking 15 minutes of fame. That's called the internet, you stupid bitch.
Ooh, I've got a house that has a waterfall in it. I'm some rich designer. Let me make a museum that's 45 minutes out of everybody's way that blows. Yeah, fuck you.
Tomato soup cans in Marilyn Monroe and yay. These are a few of my favorite things. But had it been triggered, thick yellow smoke would have been everywhere, Farbstein said. Yellow is just not a good look. I don't know what's up with Farbstein and her fucking wacky quotes, but this lady stinks at being a TSA. First of all, yellow is a good look if you're in Pittsburgh, because that's the color of the fucking Steelers, you dumb lady.
All the teams. Penguins, what's the other one?
Pirates.
Penguins, Pirates.
The Pirates, yeah.
Nope,
they don't have their basketball team, their college team, the Panthers, they're yellow.
Yellow would be a great look.
Yeah, and besides, there's no smoking on a plane. Fuck this lady.
Wow.
She's cramming bits in, dude.
I was gonna say, is she a comedian? Like, it does feel like she's writing puns nonstop.
Well, her name's Farbstein, so she controls the comedy world. I don't know. The TSA and Pittsburgh airport officials did not immediately respond to the Post request for comment on what happened to the two passengers and their grenades. There's a surprising amount of weapons confiscated regularly at airport security, with the TSA flagging 2023 as a record-breaking year where 6,737 guns were intercepted nationwide. So who's the piece of shit in this story? Is it TSA for putting out this kind of fucking interview? Yeah, you and I always joke. It's like, there's an article, what's the news here? This is news. Two people were trying to get weapons onto a plane. Inert or not, they were trying to get weapons onto a plane, both out of Pittsburgh. If someone, said this, in 2000, we wouldn't have thought anything of it. And in 2001, a little thing happened. And then now you have to care. So yes, as much as we joke about how it sucks now, why we have to do all this, that is the job of the TSA. For her to make light of it and make jokes and shit like that, it's almost like, if you're reading this, it's like, oh, if I bring weapons to TSA in Pittsburgh, they're going to be making jokes, having fun. Yeah, I might get arrested, whatever, but like, it was empty shit. What's the big fucking deal? It's crazy that she's being this light with it. It should be. I don't like that she has a Twitter account, that she's fun. I don't want a fun TSA. No. I don't. Everyone complains about the TSA being like unfun and shitty and all that, but that's their job. They are trying to stop us from dying in the air again. Like, all jokes aside. So for her to be like, we have a blast over here, or fucking no smoking on the plane, it's like, pull the pin and my finger. Like, all this shit this lady's doing, she stinks. Is it the two guys who both had the same idea at the same time? It's like two comics who both have parallel thought, and they show up at the same open mic because they're going to make a joke about, they both found out about McDonald's $5 meals, and they got a bit about it. They both show up at the mic, and they both have a similar bit. You're like, God damn it, we have this bit. And the host goes up and goes, oh, you're both McLovin' that joke, huh? And like, God damn it, TSA host, why the fuck are you doing better bits than us? The two guys having the same idea, but not realizing they can be together and be super friends and be terrorists together. Is it Pittsburgh? Because Pittsburgh is the one place, when you hear that story, I don't know why, but you're like, yeah, that makes sense. Pittsburgh's not known as like the Florida, but Pittsburgh does feel like a place where people would just have access to grenades or not. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. They have. If I said that was like, in LA, or if I said it was in Chicago,
that'd be a problem. Yeah.
In New York, I'd be like, whoa, where'd they get grenades? In Pittsburgh, I'm like, yeah, they probably all just get them for like Christmas.
The store.
So,
yeah.
So who's the piece of shit in the story?
Oh, for me, 100% the piece of shit is the TSA, not the individual agent. I don't like that she has a Twitter and she's making jokes that yellow's the new black or whatever. But two people tried to bring grenades out of one airport. What the fuck is going on? Do an investigation and tell this woman to stop tweeting about it because she's going to spoil your investigation. Like, the TSA's never stopped a terror attack. Did you know that? Since 2001, they've never stopped anyone. No, the only ones that got stopped were by people on the plane once the
Well,
person snuck stuff through.
wait, wait. How do we know they didn't stop? If they didn't let people, if they went through their bags, we might not hear that. Oh, that we don't know that person's bag was the reason why. They could have been going on there to do crazy shit. They could have stopped people from getting on the plane. They might have stopped something. We don't know it happened because they were stopped.
I think this woman would have tweeted about it if that were the case.
Well, no, I don't think anyone's smart enough
Toppled
to pull off
terrorism today.
there's no coup coming out of Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Like no one's smart enough. Philadelphia would have been where it is. That's where they're born and raised.
Oh God, dude, Philly's bad. I took the train from Philly yesterday. The new move now is people go buy their fentanyl in Philly and then ride the train back to wherever they live. Like 6 people passed out on the train. One was throwing up. It was terrible. So yeah, for me in general, it would be the TSA. Tell this woman stop giving away secrets. Did I lose you, Pat?
No. I'm sorry. I just got a stupid text in the middle of this thing.
No worries. In addition to the TSA, the individual agent, you should stop making a mockery of the situation. But I do see a time and place for her types of tweets. Like when it's not life threatening, like, oh, if we let you drink more than 5 or bring more than 5 liters of water, then you'll pee yourself or something. Like as a friendly reminder, I think she would be very good at that. The stupid signs you see all throughout the airport where they're giving you friendly reminders to throw away stuff before you go through security, maybe she would be better at that. But like the actual job of catching people, you don't see cops being like, oh, took down this perp today on Twitter for a reason, because they're probably kind of catch more perps.
Yeah, perps are the worst.
It's all good. Everything
Perps
cool?
are weird because you change the one letter E to R and flip it, and then it's that stuff for E. It's prep.
Oh, I thought you were saying perps or pervs. And
Well, that's
that
a
works
V
too.
to a P. Yeah, perps or pervs. Prep. You need prep for the pervs and perps.
If you don't take your prep, you're a perp. Perp.
Yeah, you gotta prep for that exam. If you know, and that exam is not big.
Who is your piece of shit, or are you want me to cover and we could do like a commercial break?
No, we're good. It's about our show next week. They're just setting up, going on radio and shit.
I figured as much.
We should almost see if you could come up in the morning and we could do radio together to do it, but it'd be far. But
I'd be down.
Western Mass, but I'll let you know. So anyway, it'd be fun. It'd be on Steve Nagel's thing. We've had Steve on before. It'd be great. So
yeah, like
anyway,
love Steve.
They're just setting that up. Yeah, my piece of shit in this story, I guess, without a shadow of a doubt, is the fucking fun TSA agent. Because I've dealt with that person. Like, okay, so yesterday I was at comics and there's a new guy working there that's their marketing guy, younger guy. And right away he's like, hey, I'm so-and-so. And I've seen him there before. I'm like, what's up? And he's like asking me questions and all this shit. And I'm like, he's like, hey, I could use some advice. And I thought it's because he might have known that I used to work there and I know about running clubs and getting things out there and stuff like that. But he's like, no, I started doing comedy, man. Like I've done it twice. I've got a pretty good 5. I'm pretty funny. How about you throw me on a show? I'm like, you're asking me to throw you on a show at the club that you work at? Dude, this is
Not a good
wild
move.
and unprofessional. Like, and he's like, come on, man, let me hit you up. How about at least let me send you my set and I'll give you some advice. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna give you advice. You've done it twice. You got to do it for a year. You know what I mean? You got to get shitty. And you could tell he wasn't listening. Those are the kind of people you meet all the time. They have a regular job, but they really feel like they're so funny. But no one's telling them they are. And I feel like that's what this TSA agent is. This is somebody who's like, I got my chance. I'm going to be the star. Like, I would fire her, like, in a heartbeat. No, she should she should get fired and turn it into a YouTube channel. Like, if she had, like, a TSA,
TSA
like that. Yeah. Yeah, TSA would be a fun show. But some kind of show where she talks about all the crazy things. And it was like the form, like lawyers do that a lot. They get like this bar, they get a show, and they talk about all that shit. Like that kind of thing would be
then
fun.
They do a bunch of cocaine. They take another show host's wife. Then they get busted for cocaine, drugs, and guns in front of a kid. Were we not talking about the same thing? My bad.
Well, to be fair, they didn't take someone else's wife. They had a threesome. They shared her, but they also made him be a cuck while he watched Django Unchained, which is his favorite movie, I guess, to get aroused to. That's what was found out in all of that Aaron M. Holt loves Django Unchained when he's having sex, which is wild in himself. Anyway, so anyway, I do think it's the woman who thinks it's okay to make those jokes. As a show, all we do is do puns and jokes. We are a comedy show, and we're doing puns and jokes. Like, I wouldn't want it if my doctor was like, well, I'm in there with like high blood pressure, and he's like, hey, what are you all tensed up about? It's like, what are you doing, bits? It's like, I'm fucking gonna die. It's like, don't worry, your heart's not gonna explode, but my pants will. I had tacos earlier. I'm like, what are we doing? Can you not do this, please? We don't have shtick right now. And the lady doesn't. We don't need shtick from her. Like the blast. Listen, you could make those jokes later, but right now you're talking about a news story where people are bringing weapons. It's crazy. There are copycat people. There's someone who's going to try to do it now because she made it fun. They needed to
100%.
make an example of these fucking idiots and do something so people don't do it. We're getting lax again. It's getting about time for another 9/11. It's been a long time. It's been over 20 years. Every 20, 30 years, we have like a fucking kaboom.
Well, and then I wasn't, obviously I was young when that happened, but prior to that, it used to just be like they'd hijack a plane, take it somewhere, and most of the time the hostages would live, right?
Here in America, but like 9/11 was, I mean, most foreigners say this, but like when they're like, oh, 9/11 was crazy, right? Like, yeah, that's Tuesday for us. Like, we had 9/11s all day. We have all that terrorist coups and attacks and takeovers and all that shit. But yeah, we had hostages. We didn't have we might have had more things happening, but we didn't have the ability to let everyone know about it every 2 seconds. There probably were more shootings at buildings. There was, I mean, before school shootings, I made the joke earlier and you laugh, but like postal was a big thing. People would just, postal workers would just go, or people outraged at a post office because the line made them nuts and they would hurt people. And it just became a running joke after a while. It's like, you go there, you're going to get nuts and kill somebody. It's like, what the fuck? Why are we not putting more security at the post office? People are killing people while they're giving out mail. It's like America does that. We get lax on a thing and just go, like every TikTok right now. Like I saw one the other day with this. It was literally TikTok of this girl. She's like early 20s, and she's putting a video of herself, and she's like, she's like, oh, I'm wondering if I want to be a man or a woman. And then it shows like 5 years earlier, and she goes, would I ever think about being trans? And her parents are like, that's not something we should really openly discuss. And then it shows her in 2001. It says going, hey mom, do you think you ever want to be a man? And the mom goes, oh my god, looks at the TV and it's 9/11. Like I like that there was a joke there, but the 20-year-olds and younger find 9/11 fucking hilarious. Like they think it's the funniest goddamn thing in the world, and everything on TikTok and everywhere else is just 9/11 bits nonstop. So like we don't give a shit anymore. And the fact that this TSA lady's probably younger and she's like, oh, what's the worst that can happen? Grenades on a plane? A lot. A fucking lot.
Tired of these motherfucking grenades on my motherfucking plane. Be a better movie. Samuel L. Jackson was fighting grenades on a plane.
I never saw Snakes on the Plane. I wonder if it was a wonderful movie.
I've never seen it either. I don't do horror, but I guess the premise was basically there was a dude on a plane and somebody wanted to assassinate him, so they released like 100,000 venomous snakes on this plane.
Sorry for all the stupid emailing.
No, you're good. While you do that, why don't I present another story?
Yeah, I'm listening. You're good.
So in a small town of Ohio, two people came out of the local movie theater and reported to the manager of the theater that they found $25,000 in the trash can. Police tried to investigate. Obviously, if you find that large sum of money, they're going to either try to return it to who it rightfully belongs to or figure out what illegal activity was going on to inspire it. So the people at the movie theater go, hey, we saw a woman and her kids. They were acting kind of weird last night. Maybe there. Nothing really comes of the investigation until 2 weeks later, across the street in the KFC, $15,000 is found in the trash can. And police go, I don't know what's going on, but residents of the town are pointing out there are drug dealers on all four corners of those streets. That's what's going on. Bust up these drug things and are just begging the police to do a raid, but the police are going, there's really no evidence to tie these two together. Like, we could pick these kids up and get them for possession, but we can't trace the money from them into these restaurants. We don't have video of any of these kids going into it. Like, we don't know how it came from. So who is the piece of shit in this story? Is it the person with dementia that keeps leaving his life savings in trash cans by accident? That's not a bank, you silly motherfucker. You don't deposit there.
I'm silly.
Is it? Yeah, he's got dementia. He's a little silly. Is it the cops? Like, yes, you've planted stuff before. Just plant something on these kids and get them off the block. Is it the kids? You lost $15,000 and you didn't reevaluate your strategy before you lost an additional $12,000. Like, what are we doing here? Who's your piece of shit, Pat? Or is it me for saying silly
It's not
motherfucker?
the dementia guy for being silly. Like, he's got issues there. But I don't know if there's a piece of shit in this story.
Oh, there is.
I mean, everything.
Maybe you just haven't put your finger on it yet.
No, but I mean, like, circumstance-wise, I get it. Who's your piece of shit?
My piece of shit, whoever found the money and then reported it to the manager of whatever location.
No,
you find $15,000.
That's not a piece of shit, though. That's someone trying to do the right thing. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I know. You know what?
like
You're kind of right.
Someone did do that. Like, there really isn't. It's hard. We can make the jokes, and I would like to, but like, I don't know who's the piece of shit. I mean, yeah, I think it's whoever is allowing a person with dementia access to money. They shouldn't have any access to money, I guess. But like, it's hard to tell Grandpa he's too dumb now.
Exactly. I don't know if there was a person with dementia. I was just throwing that as a possibility.
Oh.
It could have been that.
I know you said it jokingly, but you said it more than once, so I figured it was like legit. I was like, okay.
No. Well, that's just one of
anyone who loses that amount of money. Yeah, they don't have. Yeah, then fuck him. All right, never mind.
I just didn't want you walking around and going, did you hear about this guy with dementia in Ohio who just leaves thousands of dollars?
Jeez. Oh, man. All right. Let me grab one more story. It's going to be a shorter one today. I've just got 8 billion things going on. I apologize to everybody there.
It's all good, man.
Not to you, to these fuckers. You'll be happy. You're in beautiful. I can see the background. It's all beautiful. You want to fucking go do shit. You don't want to fucking do this.
I'm still halfway there. Yeah, I'm still halfway there. I got to drive another 5 after this.
Right. No, I'm saying, but even that, it's just still nice. It's like, okay. Yeah. Bride's wedding dress catches fire mid-ceremony. I ran to get a bucket of water. Mostly every woman wants to look. Oh, here we go. Mostly every woman wants to look hot on her big day, but this bride's dream went up in flames. Double whammy on this one.
Boom. You know what? I like it. At first, I was going to be like, oh, every girl wants to look hot. We couldn't have done better. But the fact that they doubled down and her dreams went up in flames, I'm giving her an 8 out of 10.
Before you get 8 out of 10, they tripled down.
No.
As most attendees of a wedding throw rice, these people were throwing buckets of water.
All right. So 2 for 3 ain't it bad, as Meatloaf said.
All right. POV. You're live painting a wedding when suddenly the bride and guests catch on fire, wrote LA wedding artist and content creator Bailey in the closed caption of her eye-popping TikTok post. I like that she ran away. That's the big thing. Imagine this. You're painting a wedding. I don't have to imagine painting it. Imagine you're at a wedding and a dress goes on fire. I don't need to be painting it for me to get it.
Here's what I need you to do. Picture yourself on a boat, on a river, with tangerine trees and marmalade skies.
Nice. Thank you, Beatles. By the way, it says this as a brag, but I don't think amassing over 434,000 views from stunned cyber spectators. That is not a lot of views when you compare like a baby walking, into a wall gets 1 billion views, and a lady on fire at her wedding gets not even half 1,000,000. The clip featured visuals of the just married pair walking up the aisle, decorated with lit candles, as loved ones applauded their union. A fierce flame suddenly sparked, momentarily engulfing the bride and groom, as well as a few well-wishers. I am so relieved that no one was hurt. It's entertaining now, but at the time it was terrifying. Now I don't know why. The artist wrote the caption when I said "so" and terrified that because those are capitalized. I don't know why she had to write. It sounds sarcastic.
Yeah, I think
so relieved.
It was terrifying.
Being on fire, whatever, bitch. I was recording for content to go with the painting time lapse when this happened. You know what it is? I'll already say it right now. Piece of shit's anyone that watches her painting time lapse fucking content. Fuck off.
I'd take it a
Said,
step further. Anybody who hires a painter for their wedding.
Oh my god, I didn't even think of that. Holy shit. I mean, the amount of money, that's when you start going, what can we cut here? Well, everything's important. Really? The lady who's painting, do you also have a guy with the fucking powder smoke and the camera and does that shit? We don't need that shit. We don't need a painting of it. By the way, the painting is always super creepy and nobody wants to see it.
No, and where are you gonna hang it?
In the bathrooms. It belongs in there with the rest of the shit.
Yeah, or you're gonna take it with your grenades on your airplane to Pittsburgh, and hopefully the TSA takes the painting.
Hopefully that's where the Pittsburgh guys were going to this wedding to throw grenades at people. Fire, unfortunately, is showing up as the repeat wedding crasher as a string of incidents of I do's. Oh, now it just goes into other people catching on fire. So I don't care about that. What I'd like to know is how they caught on fire.
I'm guessing the groom was like, "You spent how much on a wedding painter?" And then he lit her on fire and was like, "We'll get some insurance money."
Look, it says like a fierce flame suddenly sparked, momentarily engulfing the bride and gloom from the candles. But like, why would it just? What was around in the air or something? Why would it just catch like that?
Her perfume.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't either. I like that.
You think the artist had some kind of like spray or mist? Like, this would be a good picture if I fucking put him on fire. I get some content.
Oh my god, maybe it was an inside job by the wedding painter.
Fuck you, V. You are the fucker, Pat. This show is not called Who's the Fucker, first of all. Don't call me a fucker, you two-name fuck. Quit apologizing like a little B. I don't really mean it. I'm just saying that because I felt bad that like yesterday, if you watch our Thursday thoughts, Bobby mailed it the fuck in. And today I'm the fuck in. So my difference is that mine's on with people watching and the other one no one watched. So whatever. But who's the piece of shit? Is it the lady for catching on fire? Is it the groom for not fucking blocking the flames and taking one for the team? Is it the artist for fucking being a bitch and talking about it and be like, I was trying to get content? That story's not about the why. First of all, I think it's odd that the only person that's being talked to is the fucking artist at the thing. You'd think the bride or like somebody at the wedding who wasn't the hired artist to talk about it. Or is it candles? No. Fuck candles. We have lights now. Stop it.
I don't think it's the artist for the reason you said. Like, why is she the only one being interviewed? Because I think what happened, Pat, she went to get the bucket and everybody else at the wedding died. She's the sole survivor.
No death. There's no death. This wasn't the red wedding and fucking.
Oh, that would have been so much cooler. Or like that band that played up in New York where they locked the doors and then everybody died. Close. That one was freezing. This one was hot. Opposite ends of the death spectrum, but both equally deadly. No, for me, the piece of shit is. Thank you, Kish, for backing up my science. For me, the piece of shit in this story, Pat, would have to be probably the groom.
Why?
Because your whole the whole ceremony is two becoming one. You're gonna be there. You're gonna be her rock. You're gonna shelter her, and you let her get caught on fire on the day you're getting married. That's basically the devil being like, nah, Holmes.
But Bobby, the union didn't happen yet, so it's not his job until the union. It was still.
Oh.
Well, I guess that no, you know what? It was the reception, so I guess it was new. So I guess they just happened. So he's still learning. Yeah. It's not a learning curve.
No learning curve in marriages.
They said sickness and in health. They didn't say in flames. You know what I mean? To be fair, there's nothing about flames.
I do have it on good authority. It was a pretty healthy sized flame she had going. So good point, Pat. That wasn't sickness.
Yeah, he's like, that's not the only time you've been burning between your legs. Hey.
Oh, hey.
Gonorrhea jokes at the wedding? Thanks, Chief.
Do you think it was her ex? Like her jealous ex?
That would light her on fire?
Mm-hmm. That's how the Indians do it.
I don't mean this. I don't mean to do this to say that it has to be flipped the other way, but I would think it'd be his jealous ex. This fire to a bride sounds more like a femme fatale. Not a guy would just go, "You're fat." You know what I mean? Like that's what it would be. I object to how fat you are. Like that's all he would do.
Very, very good point. I object to the fact that I missed an opportunity to call a woman a piece of shit.
Yeah, I'm really sure that it is you, Bobby, because you are off your game. I know you're like traveling and stuff, but whenever there's a chance for you to make sure women feel like crap, You're usually right there to be the star of that, and you really dropped the ball. And you know what, V? I fucking apologize. I apologize that I did not catch that earlier, and I apologize for everything I ever do in life. There you go, V, clown face. I don't apologize for banning you that one time. I feel like I was supposed to. I am kidding. I love all of you. You're the wind beneath my fucking wings.
I haven't been able to follow the chat as well from my phone, but I think Kish may have had our Husey from what I've seen.
The combustion one?
Yep. I just want to get the ball rolling.
This woman for better or for worse, for sick or spontaneous combustion?
If they said that, you'd think the priest had something to do with it. If the priest asked you that specifically, and then later in the day she caught on fire, you'd be like, I think he had something to do with this.
Nice. So real quick for everyone there. First of all, I think that's gonna wrap it up for our fucking stories. We did great today, whatever. I don't have an official time start for it yet, but Bobby and I talk about it. We're gonna have to be switching the times of this show. We don't know exactly when, but I've had to go out and get a big boy job. So I'll be starting to do a job that'll be during the day. We're thinking of doing like somewhere between like 4 and 6, 5 and 7-ish type thing. POS mornings in the evenings or something like that. But we'll keep doing the morning thing for now. We're not really apologizing, V. It's fucking fake. Anyway, we don't care. But yeah, we'll let you know as soon as that happens. We've been loving doing the mornings. Maybe what I'm thinking is maybe do the show live in the afternoon, early evening, but then live there, and then like making it public to everybody in the mornings the next morning. So like people that want the morning thing, it can be there, but live it'll be in the evening. So you can comment and stuff, you're there, and then it stays private until after it's live until the next morning, and then comes up the next morning show. You know what I mean?
Kind of like that. Yeah, that would work.
The news, something like that. We're going to play along with it. We'll get there soon, but don't worry. This Monday, we still should be on board for doing our morning thing as of right now. But any changes, we'll let you know through YouTube. We'll put a little quick video up or something like that. But also, more importantly, through our Patreon, you'll know right away. So just go over there and join. If you haven't watched it from yesterday, we had our Thursday Thoughts. We do a show each and every Thursday. It's a fun, exclusive show on there. So check that on out. For $3 a month, you get that. Please hit like and subscribe. We appreciate that. Tonight, I'm in Derby at Riverwalk Social. That all the text I was getting is for next week's show, June 28th and 29th at Weathersfield. So make sure to go to comedycraftbeer.com for those tickets there. I was at Comics last night, and everyone's really excited about the album recording. That's August 8th, 9th, and 10th. They're also very excited the week before is Kurt Metzger, and I'm kind of bummed. I'm like, I'd like to see Kurt Metzger, but like, it goes Kurt Metzger, then it goes us, so it'll be fun. Go to comicsroadhouse.com for your tickets to that. Bobby?
Tonight I'm at Dead Crow, but more importantly, next week, me, Pat Oates, in the same room at Weathersfield.
In Weathersfield at the river, it's called.
At the river. At the river.
Beer.com for tickets.
I know it used to be the Brouhaha. Also, did you see who's there the week after us at Comics? Not in the club, but playing the big stage.
No.
It's Shane Gillis, because when Blaze asked, he was like, hey, man, not to be this guy, but this isn't your weekend, is it? And I was like, thank God, I don't want to deal with that.
In a couple of weeks is Schultz. I mean, they have you. It never really. The good thing is, even though they're right next door, the arena never affects the comedy club. It's one's going to one thing for an event, the other ones are walking around the casino looking for a comedy show. You know, so it never really hurts any or helps or whatever.
Oh, I just thought it would be funny if like Shane heard us talking shit and was like, now it's time to fight. And then we had to play him in football and we won. And then we got to be on Shane's crew. You're the new Matt. I'm the new McKeever. Life goes on.
It's funny that you think that he would have heard us.
I mean, maybe a man can dream.
Definitely can.
And I would say, make sure you at home, you pursue your dreams relentlessly.
Don't.
Remember, it's not over until I win. Don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah,